January 20th, 31 degrees, a little earlier than usual, using some artificial lights, so it's going to look a little different. No wind, which is nice. Whew. Did not sleep last night. Too much on my mind. Let's get going. So I've gone through a lot of different points of view, perceptions, outlooks on this practice. I was very excited to do it, and then it was apprehensive, it was difficult. Then I started doing performances instead of my yoga. I was doing stuff for the camera. Then I kind of finally settled in, and then I started finding new ways to move within the flow. I'll give you an example. So in this case, my knee is under my chest, and I realized I could step a little bit farther, and it actually feels like I've got more support. That might seem like it's something that's tiny, and like showing somebody the finished product like that often loses what was gained by finding it. Does that make sense? What I've been doing, I've had words escape me. That's what happens when too many words want to be said at the same time. I've been doing yoga for over 4 years now. I've been doing sun salutations for that long. I've been doing that particular motion. Raise your right leg, look to your right hand, right foot to right thumb. I've been doing that step for a long time. And it's been the same for a long time. And I've found new flexibility, new mobility in my hip joints. And my hips are more healthy than they've ever been. I don't believe I would have found that had I not committed to this everyday practice. And to go a step further, I don't believe I would have found it as quickly. I'm 20 days in, but even, I don't know, 11, 12 days in, I was experiencing much better hip mobility. And that was in part, I think, because it's so cold outside. I've been doing, I just mentioned the weather. Anyway, I've been doing 12, 14 sun salutations every morning because I do a bunch to warm up before I come outside to the freezing cold. My point of all of this is, it's like a hiking trip. It's like you're gonna go on a hiking trip and you have some friends with you who have never gone hiking, and you're like, listen, there's an amazing swimming spot on the other side of this hill. It's the most beautiful, most crystal clear waters I've ever seen. We just gotta hike up this hill. And your friends have never seen the hill, and so they're like, oh, this is great, I've gone hiking before, no problem. And then you get there, you drive there and you can see the hill in the distance, and they're like, that's not a hill, that's a mountain. And you're like, well, we call it a hill because it doesn't have a USGS placard on it. It's not actually been surveyed. It's not really a mountain, it's a hill. And they're like, that's a mountain. And you start hiking and they're pissing and moaning the whole way. Their legs hurt, their arms hurt, their friggin' eyeballs hurt, everything hurts. Their hair hurts, they're sweating, and they're having a bad time. And you're like, trust me, just keep going. And they hem and haw. Yeah, both hem and haw. The whole way. And they get over the hill, and they can't even look at the pond, even though they can see it. They can't see it. They hike and sweat, and they moan and complain, and they moan. And then they get there. They take their boots off, and they sit in the water for a minute, and they're like, this is friggin' amazing. I am so glad that I hiked that hill. But if you just got to the lake, if you just drove there, it wouldn't have been as appreciated as going through the crucible to get there. And this feeling of discovery and accomplishment, this mobility from sun salutations, makes me take pause and say, what about my other postures? What will I find in those? And to take all of this even another step further, and I'm not proud of this, but I'm doing it now, and that's all I can say. But I've gone back to doing my martial arts kata every day. Every day when I do this, I turn off the camera, and then I do 5 or 6 kata. I haven't had a daily martial arts practice in years. It's become a continually lessening part of my life. How many words can I make a salad with? Throw in some conflation and some abracadabra, some blazo-blaz. It doesn't matter that I didn't do it all of those years before. What matters is I'm doing it now. That's what matters. So to reiterate something I've said 1,000 times, I'm having a really great time with this. Thank you for enduring my practice with me today. Namaste.